Hey everyone, today we're going to talk a little bit about disembarkation process. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, John here from Byte Size Cruises. Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for coming to check us out. We would love for you to consider subscribing to our channel. We are a travel agency just trying to give you the best information possible about cruising so that you can plan and go on an amazing cruise vacation. Today, we're going to talk all about disembarkation process. Something came up this week on the very fun to follow John Heald Carnival thread where John consistently gets berated by customers. But it was about disembarking the ship, and it was about the actual process of the self-assist and then the numbers and then diamond and all the different priorities and all of those things. So I want to talk a little bit about disembarkation. I'll mention embarkation just in passing here as we get into it. So if you haven't been on a cruise yet or you've been on a bunch of cruises, embarkation changes, I feel like, a lot. There used to be like very specific times. Then it went away for a while where no one cared and everybody just showed up whenever. Then the pandemic hit and we got back into the very stringent, have to stick to your check-in time. Remember, it's not really an embarkation time, it's a check-in time. And then whenever the ship's ready, they'll embark in order. So I prefer there to be some type of structure. I prefer that if your check-in time is 10, you should have a window from like 9:30 or 9:45 to 10:15, whatever it is, right? Give yourself a little block of time. You can come 10 a.m. or you can come after 10 a.m., whatever you want to do. You should be able to pick that time based on when you check in, a number of other factors. You should get maybe priority if you are a certain level of loyalty, whatever the situation may be. So they don't do that really. Some cruise lines, I've been on Carnival recently, and Carnival was a little stricter, which is shocking to me, that when I got in line, they did check to see my embarkation time and to make sure I was within a certain window. I'm a rule follower. I'm happy to follow the rules. I'll come when you tell me to come. If there is no rhyme or reason to it, then I will show up whenever it's convenient for me, which I don't think makes sense, especially on super large ships where there's 6,000 people and you're trying to get all these people onto a cruise ship in an orderly fashion. I do prefer having some structure there, but alas, there's nothing I can do about it, right? So this week we are going on MSC Meraviglia. I have a 10 a.m. check-in. I don't know why it's so early, but their check-ins are very random. It's not like you pick. You could try to pick and then it just shows up on your thing somewhere that you have a certain time. AJ had 11:30, then she made a change on her check-in, and now she has 1:30. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So let's talk about disembarkation because that's a little more structured. And let's talk about the options, right? So you have self-assist, which means that you are going to walk off the ship. I'm going to get back into this in a minute because I have a little bit of a pet peeve about this. Then you have the numbers where you check your luggage, you get a number, and you get off the ship when your number is called. And then again, you have different loyalty programs. So if you are diamond or if you are in a suite or if you're in whatever situation, you get some preferential treatment or maybe not so preferential treatment based on what's going on. So generally speaking, if you're in a suite, you get a lot of options of when you want to get off. You can basically be ushered off whenever you want. A lot of times those people tend to stay a little bit longer and grab some breakfast or something. Here's my 2 cents about disembarkation. Before we go any further, I feel like if you are not on a flight that's early, which you shouldn't be on a flight before noon. There's no reason to be on a flight before noon because there's so many variables where you're not going to be able to make that flight. So one, if you're on a flight at like noon, or you live in the port. So if you live in Miami, you just want to get off the ship and go to work or whatever your situation is. I get those people that want to get off early. I do the same thing if I'm in Bayonne. I just want to get off the ship, go pick up my dog, get home, right? So I get it. If you are flying out and your flight is after 12 o'clock, go have breakfast. Why are you trying to end your vacation early? Go relax, get something to eat, take your time, walk off whenever you're ready, or check your luggage, whatever you want to do. Here's my pet peeve with self-assist, which this person complained, why is self-assist get off before Diamond or whatever it is? So self-assist are just the people that can walk off the ship that don't need help with anything, that are going to carry their bags off and get moving and get through the process. Seems straightforward. Here's my pet peeve with it. This is just me. If you are walking off the ship, you shouldn't be carrying 6 bags of luggage just because you're trying to rush off the ship. So what you wind up doing is you wind up holding up everybody else because you can't do it. I got off Symphony of the Seas last month, or September, I think it was, because in October we got off a little bit different time. But I got off, and the people in front of me, there was two adults and 2 kids, small children who could not carry their own bags. They had 8 pieces of luggage, and they were consistently stopping and couldn't get everything together with the kids and do all these other things. And there was 2 elderly people in front of them trying to drag 4 bags off, and they were struggling to get the bags off. That is not, to me, self-assist. That, to me, is no disregard, no regard for anyone else, and you're just trying to get off the ship for whatever reason at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, whenever these insane people start getting in line. So I don't love that. My thought process to maybe make things a little easier or smoother would be to, when you check in, when you decide how you're getting on the ship, you should, if you are getting on the ship and you have a carry-on bag, I generally just travel with a carry-on bag. So I have a carry-on piece of luggage that I wheel. And if I'm in Bayonne, that might be a slightly larger, not like a full-size piece of luggage, but like a slightly larger piece of luggage. I just wheel it on. I get on and I usually have the key if I'm on Royal, and I send it to my room up that way, which is fine. I have electronics and stuff in there, so I don't want to check it with my computer and stuff in there. Or I have just like a really small piece of luggage and a backpack, and I just wheel them on, I wheel them off. I have no issue. I'm completely mobile. I carry it up and down the stairs. It's not a big deal. I don't carry a lot. I don't go heavy. My thoughts are, you should have to register that you're bringing your bag on. You should have to register the number of bags you have, and then you should get the okay and the clearance to embark that way and to disembark that way. So when you get on the ship, you should get something swiped on your band or a ticket or whatever they want to do. With technology, should be very easy at this point to say you are self-assist on and off the ship. You can, if you buy a bunch of stuff and you want to change it while you're on the ship to not do that, then that's fine as well. I have no issue with that. But when you go to get off the ship, you should be checked. You should have to go, there should be a line. You should do whatever you have to do. That's very simple. It shouldn't be additional work for the employees. I know turnaround day is crazy anyway. And then you should be able to get off the ship with whatever. Now, some people will argue and say, why do you care if I have 6 bags and I'm dragging them off the ship? First of all, it's just a nightmare. You can't do it. You're holding up everybody else. You're disruptive. I've seen people throwing their bags down the steps. I've seen people dragging 3 pieces of luggage down the stairs. You're clogging up the entire elevator, right? You're doing all these things that are creating a disturbance and a disruption of flow to everybody else, which I think is probably more problematic than anything else. I think it would be an easy system to implement. What do I know? I don't know anything about logistics. I don't work for Amazon, right? I'm just giving suggestions. I've been on 70-some cruises. I think that would streamline the process. And then you could just say, okay, what time would you like to get off the ship? Do you want to be one of the first people off? Cool, this is the time you're getting off. I saw Carnival recently. They're now doing the, like, we'll let you know when you're ready to get off. That's great. And then you can relax, do whatever you're going to do. You'll get a little text message, good to go, and then go. On my experience on Jubilee with that, I did not get that text message until I was off the ship. So I walked down and they were like, yeah, you can get off. You're ready. So that's that. So that's that 2 cents. Now with the other ones, with the luggage and the special, loyalty programs, this and that, yes, you should get a time. If you are Diamond or whatever you want to do, you should be able to pick a time and get off at that time. Now, some of those people want it to be early, then you can do self-assist. If you wanted it to be earlier. If not, your time's your time. You should know that before you get on the ship anyway. So I don't know what the big deal is. If you have luggage and you are going to check your luggage and then try to drag it off the ship, I think that's a mistake. But whatever, those are the rules as they sit right now. I would love to hear how everybody feels about this. What are your thoughts on disembarkation? Generally speaking, I don't have an issue with getting on or off the ship. I feel like it's a pretty smooth process at this point. There are little things, like I said, if you get held up by people dragging their luggage, or I just see where it's a disruption. Other people might not bother me, but I see it's a disruption. Let me know what you think. Do you think it should be more structured getting on and off the ship? Obviously, particularly off, because we're talking about disembarkation, or do you think it's just fine the way it is and you don't care, you just want to get off whenever you get off and it doesn't matter? Let me know what you think. I just thought it was a fun topic to talk about today. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you're having a wonderful week and a wonderful day, and I hope you're going on a cruise soon. Thanks so much. Happy cruising. Bye.